Ethiopia has committed to build the largest airport in Africa before the year 2030. In fact, the country plans to complete it by the year 2029. Now, according to the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, the construction has already begun. And this initial phase of the construction cost us already 6 billion. And mind you, this is only the initial phase. Now, the airport also in the first phase, it will accommodate 60 million passengers annually, which will later be upgraded to accommodate 110 million passengers annually. Now, the construction has already begun for this new airport. It has also, the Ethiopian Airlines has ordered already 124 new aircrafts for this, and which that is from Boeing, I believe, because Ethiopian, most of its aircrafts come, actually all of them from Boeing and Airbus as well. One other thing that you have to know with regards to this is, I mean, the country has is committed and, setting the standard high in terms of airport in the continent, in building this largest airport in the continent. It's also positioning itself as a major hub, not only for Africa, but international air travel on the continent as well. And, competing with biggest airlines in the world. Now, it's, as I said, it's projected only the initial phase is $6 billion, and it will be located just 45 kilometers away from the capital city, in which it will be connected with the current main airport of Bole International Airport, which is found in the capital city. So it will be connected by the electric railway, which will make it easier for passengers. Now, this was announced by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed while he was addressing the House of Representatives in the parliament. In 2023 and 2024 budget year, Ethiopian Airlines in its financial year carried about 17 million passengers annually, and it's already now working on in increasing this to, in the next year, 2024/2025 financial year to year. This company, National Flag Carrier, is a very profit-making airline, leading the business of airline by class. It's not just for profit making, but it's where you get the best service in terms of airlines. And it's not only because it is for Ethiopian or for Africans. This is most international travelers have gave their words actually witnessing this. But another thing that what we have to look at, what we have to know now with regards to this building of the largest airport in the continent is that here is a quote from the Prime Minister. He said, "We have initiated steps to construct Africa's largest airport." He also added this: ordering 124 planes is no small feat. It's a remarkable achievement. That's what the Prime Minister said. Now, another quote from him is that this expansion is not only solidifies Ethiopian Airlines as the largest aircraft operator in Africa, but also positions it as a powerhouse with a substantial airport facility. Earlier in August, also the CEO of Ethiopian Airlines, Ato Mesfin Tasso, he said Ethiopia had reached an agreement on the design of a new 4-runway airport. Now, the design of the airport, here is a company that has won I don't know if there was a bid or just given, but here is the company Sidara, a Dubai-based engineering and consulting business, has been contracted to design the airport according to the company's head of operation. This is what, and actually Ethiopians also, I mean, the government also has admitted this. Another fact, what we have to know, I mean, Ethiopian Airlines is, it has been always the first of every introduction of aircraft by Boeing to bring it to the continent, from Dreamliner to Airbus, the Boeing 767 Max, everything that you have, the latest in the continent, it was actually brought by Ethiopian Airlines for the first time in the continent, and sometimes also with a rank globally. Now, for me, what outstands when it comes to Ethiopian Airlines, and I mean, many of you who knows me online and offline, that they know how passionate I am about Ethiopian Airlines. For me, what stands out of the most is that it's a Pan-African airline. It's a 78 years old, a service provider with a class. It's a Pan-African Airlines because it is that airline that brought the Pan-African leaders when the Organization of African Unity was established, when none of the African countries have had at that time a national flag carrier airline. It's a Pan-African airline because also it has a stake in 6 African airlines. I mean, to name them, you have the ASCII Airlines, which is the Togo one. You have the Malawian Airlines, the Chadian airline called Tichadia, and then the Mozambique airline, and then the Zimbabwe as well. And recently, the Democratic Republic of Congo is in negotiation for Ethiopian Airlines to manage it. Now, the way Ethiopian Airlines comes to take a stake in these airlines is not by any coincidence. It's when these airlines are going out of the business and in bankruptcy, actually, they contract Ethiopian Airlines to manage it, and Ethiopian Airlines bring it to a profitable company, and kind of revive it and gives it that second chance for the airline and to strive, and still while it has its flag carrier of that African country. For me, this is really what kills me, that makes it the most outstanding airline in the world. It makes us so proud. And the next thing is that it's a state-owned airlines. It is that proof in the world of capitalism, where everything is encouraged to be privatized, especially when it comes to Africa, when government service providers are profitable. It's mostly the IMF and World Bank gives you a loan actually on the basis, on the premises of that the state will sell or privatize its most profit-making companies in that country, so that from that capitalist country who run IMF and World Bank, like the USA and the West, comes with their private business people and will make them to have a stake in the African profit making company, which are state owned. This is what we call neo-colonization. But unfortunately, our own heads of states are an accomplice in this. So for me, as much as I'm so happy for this announcement, I have a message or two to Ethiopian Airlines, or it could be to the government officials. Please continue to make this state-owned airlines as it is being a state-owned. Please do not privatize it. What makes Africans, not only Ethiopians, so proud is that Africa, because most of the time, it's not most of the, every time what we get a criticism and being insulted by the West is that because we, like Africans, are not capable of running anything. And this defies everything that has to do with that and shows Africa can run its own state-owned companies, service providers, and Ethiopian Airlines is one of the, one of the demonstration or manifestation for that. So if you privatize even 10% of it or whatever, you will be deceiving all that. If it has to be really, it should be only maybe in the country for Ethiopian, for locals, and maybe for other. I really don't think, first of all, it should be privatized. And mind you, I'm not saying this because I heard anything or that there is such a claim, but I'm just saying because there's so much pressure against African countries to sell, to privatize their companies, and I'm against it. So if you hear this, any of policymakers in the country or something, if you have, I mean, if you agree with me, you can share it. If you disagree with me, also you can, you can share your view why you disagree with me. The other thing is that my reservation from this, the designing or engineering consultancy is given to this Dubai-based company. I don't know what, I mean, it's Dubai based, but I don't know by who it's owned. It looked like from the name it's a Middle Eastern company. But the thing is that I would rather, it's our people. Okay, the construction company was, but Salini is still based. I mean, I'm talking about the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, but still Salini is operating within Ethiopia. So I wish for the state of the arts that something cultural can be incorporated. We are not no short of knowledgeable people in this area. So unless, I really hope that there is a way to incorporate, bring our own designers to work with this company that is now that has taken now this contract. So those are only my two reservations. But yeah, I mean, kudos, well done for Ethiopia. As always, Ethiopian Airlines make us proud. Yeah, I really think so. It will continue in the same way. One other thing, actually, as a final point, is that most of the aircrafts are or all of them, it's from Boeing and Airbus. Airbus is, I think, owned by France, and Boeing is from the United States. And there is this new alternative from also China, which is the COMAC. It's a Chinese corporation, government corporation, that is making aircrafts. It's like the equivalent of Boeing, and it gives us an alternative, because when we get also a fund from from IMF or World Bank, and most of these are what Ethiopian Airlines is now planning, these 124 aircrafts, new aircrafts. They're not going to be just bought on cash or one-time payment. It's by loan. And guess what? All the loans that we take, whether it's from the US or from these so-called financial institutions, but run only by few superpowers from the West, they are going to force Ethiopia to go, most of the fund or all of it to pay that fund without even helping the foreign currency, what the government needs. So it's always good to have that an alternative if there is the same quality. I know that COMAC is new, but it just expanded to Singapore as well. So, and Ethiopia has, I think, from Africa, the strongest trade relationship with the Chinese government. So if it is an option, it's really good to diversify, not, as they say, not to put all your eggs in one basket. So why not? Yeah, let us know also about this in the comment section. Thanks again for tuning in, and I really wait for your comments. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give it a like if you like what we bring you here, share the video with others. You may support us through our PayPal account. You can find it in the description section. That was it for me for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.